All right, these are the patch notes. We got some pretty big stuff. A lot of the gameplay updates stuck in here. Let me move the webcam to the side for this. Which side? Who knows? So we have the Stitches, Sylvanas, reworks in this patch. A lot of changes to how armor works, which is a pretty big deal. But basically, because only the highest or the lowest amount of armor is applied to a hero at a given time, they basically removed all armor stacking. They're boosting a lot of armor-based abilities to make up for that. So Nubkeks, Nerubian armor, is going to give 20 more, so now it gives 60 bonus spell armor instead of 40. The Butcher Enraged passive, I think that's level 16 talent, isn't it? I'm not entirely sure. I think it is. It's now going to give 25 armor instead of 15. Chen Purifying Brew, his trait, will give 40 armor instead of 30. Again, I think that is a talent too. I can't remember the level. Maybe level 1. Untapped Potential, I think it's the upgrade for his heroic. Is going to give him 60 armor instead of 50 in the barrel. I think that's level 20. Sacrificial Soul for Diablo, I think that's level 4. The armor is going to give you 25 when you stun someone with your Q. And at max souls, it will give you 50 armor now instead of 40. ETC, Rockstar's trait's going to give him 25 armor. Showstopper is now going to give 35. Now this is because it would naturally be stacking. So I guess it's kind of weaker overall. Instead of having 25 armor from your trait, you're going to have 35 armor, so it's only 10 extra. That being said, each point of armor is slightly stronger than the last one, so there is that. Robo Goblin with Gazlo is going to give 40 armor instead of 30. I think that's in the activatable time. Morales, her Safeguard, is going to give 30 armor now instead of 25, though bear in mind it won't stack on top of any armor heroes naturally have. Trauma Trigger, which I think is the self one, it's a talent, maybe at level, I can't remember, 4, something like that. It's going to give her 40 armor instead of 30 now. Nova, her anti-armor shells will shred off 15 physical armor instead of 10. Raynor, Bounty Hunter, was that the level 16 talent? That's activatable trait. I think that's going to remove 10 armor now instead of 5, or no, it's something that gives him armor. You know what? I have no idea what this one is. I don't have a clue. You'd have to check that. Sorry. Hunter-Gatherer for Rexar. That's, I think, when you finish the quest, he gains permanent armor. Will now give 15, collecting regen globes. Tastar Kala's Light. That's the armor on level 4 spell. It's going to give 20 armor now instead of 15. Tyrael, Defense of the Angels, active. I don't remember what that is either. Is that the level 20 armor bonus? Could be. I don't know. It's going to give 50 instead of 40 though. Uther, this is big. Uther's trait when you heal someone, it used to give 15 armor, now it gives 25. So that's much more substantial. That's a pretty big buff to Uther. Valera, while she's in her smoke bomb, will get 30 armor instead of 25. And Zul'jin, when he activates a Mani Hide, where he temporarily sacrifices half of his life, it's going to give you 15 armor instead of 10. On top of that, the catapult changes and experience changes are in. Now, when you destroy a fort, catapult every 3rd minion wave. Experience changes. No experience for killing forts or keeps. The experience for destroying towers down by half. Passive experience up by 15%. Defeating mercenaries, so capturing a mercenary camp will give you more experience now. And they reverted. They were initially going to give people what. So let's say enemy team captures a merc camp, siege giants. The siege giants walk down your lane. They're smashing your towers. You kill those siege giants. Initially, they were intending to give you all of the experience that enemy team got when they captured it. Now, instead, that enemy team gets experience, but you don't get any for killing them in the lane. You just remove the camp that's pushing down your lane, which I think is a pretty nice change overall. So it does mean that capturing merc camps is now actually very important. You get lots of experience for capturing merc camps, and it creates pressure on the map. So that's a big deal. Actually destroying towers, destroying forts or keeps is less rewarding, but will happen. The reward is now that you get catapults instead, which is more map pressure. So pretty interesting stuff. We'll see how it goes. They may have to lower the mercenary thing because they might be too important. We'll see. Interesting here as well. Boss camps, sentinel camps, that's the big guy with the cleaving sword on Hanamura. Support camps, that's the robot in the middle which drops the healing pack, are now elite. And elite camps are unstoppable, unbribable. And yeah, there's just going to be things that won't affect elite camps anymore. So I think that makes sense. They're significantly more powerful than other ones. They're single things. Obviously, bribing these things away was really dumb when that was a thing, so can't do that anymore. It's just gone. This one's interesting. Unit radii, or I think that's how you say radii or radii, I don't know. But the unit radius values for most heroes has been reduced by 5 to 15%. That basically means that heroes are smaller, as far as I know, which also should mean that they're harder to hit with skill shots, I guess. It's going to be interesting to see how this one actually feels. I'm not sure. This is definitely a pretty big change that I did not expect, had no forewarning about at all, compared to obviously the experience stuff. So yeah, that might actually have a big effect. Maybe it's not going to be noticeable. I don't really know. Anyway, armor, increased healing, decreased healing, health bar indicators have received a visual update. So we got a preview from this from BlizzCon. I talked about it in that video. You'll see it in the videos I'm going to do on Sylvanas and Stitches. And I guess maybe even Phoenix, because he's been changed as well. Maybe Uther, because he's got changed quite a bit too with the armor stuff. That might be worth seeing. But yeah, nice visual updates to make stuff a lot more visually clear. Let's look at these guys. So, well, I'll cover Sylvanas and Stitches in their own videos. I'll cover them real quick here, but we'll dive in depth in videos for them. But yes, Phoenix. Purification salvo damage is down. That's the heroic where he does the sweepy scan thing and then he fires off a barrage afterwards. Level 4, inhibiting energy. Now applies to all slows except itself, not just plasma cutter slows. Slow duration increased from 4 to 3 seconds. Let's jump into the thing. Hang on. Because I can't remember exactly what it did. Inhibiting energy. While Phase Bomb is active, basic attacks against slowed heroes slow all enemies in the area by 30% for 3 seconds. Okay, cool. So it's only 3 seconds. Slow is less. Slow is less too. And applies to all slows except itself. Okay. Cool. Warp Conduit is gone. Warp Conduit is basically been added into Warp Warfare now, though. So Warp Warfare, you get attack speed when you teleport with Warp when you arrive, and then hero takedowns reset Warp. So that's pretty cool. I kind of dig that. It's pretty neat. Divert Power Weapons has been changed. Now you activate it, you get 40% basic attack damage for 5 seconds. Basic attacks against heroes refresh the duration back up to 5 seconds when the damage bonus falls off. So if the 5 seconds elapses and you don't basic attack a hero in that time, it's gone. Remove all of Phoenix's shields, and the ability has a 40-second cooldown, which is pretty cool. Okay, we're gonna get ready. He's gonna keep talking if we don't. We're queuing up for Sylvanas. He's gonna keep talking if we don't get out of there, so we will. Dampening field. He's gonna get more spell armor. Again, this is going with those armor changes. And auxiliary shields. Getting more shields to health loss. What is that one? I don't remember either. Back to Phoenix. He's gonna talk at us some more. This one, auxiliary shields. Permanently reduces max health by 30%, but increase the shield by 40%. Basic attacks regenerate shields equal to 10% damage to health. Oh, wow. Okay. That's pretty interesting there. And I guess that's sort of anti-synergy with divert power weapons, then, in a sense. You could just lose all of those bigger shields and be left with, like, no health. Cool. Okay, great. Sylvanas, we'll cover in detail. Essentially, more health regen. She's probably the biggest rework ever. Just radically different functionality on her Q. It's an 8-second cooldown now, which fires 5 withering fires automatically in a row. That's a pretty massive deal. Shadow Dagger doesn't spread automatically. You have to shoot that target that has the Shadow Dagger debuff, 2.5-second debuff on them, and then it will spread based on that. Mind Control is just a totally new heroic as well. It's now a Phoenix. God damn it. God damn it. We put him in the robot. He died. It was great. We put him in the robot. He just started talking again. God damn it, Phoenix. God damn it. It's now a short cast skill shot that basically makes them walk towards you slightly slower while silenced for 1.75 seconds. So it's kind of interesting. Pretty big change. It's also a 50-second cooldown, which is pretty dope. And yeah, her trait is now totally different as well. You can activate it now. It's a 10-second buff, 40-second cooldown, which all your basic attacks and abilities stun minions, mercs, and structures. Structure stuff is back from abilities, but it's only for 10 seconds with a 40-second cooldown. I like this change a lot. And then you've got a new passive as well, Banshee's Curse, which is pretty impactful actually. But your basic attacks apply Banshee's Curse, and you do 25 bonus damage to enemies with 3 stacks. So long as you're consistently shooting the same target, you're doing 25% more damage to that target, which is pretty cool. Loads of talent changes. You'll see those all when we actually get to play Sylvanas. Stitches, similar stuff. I actually haven't looked at this in much detail. Reduce cooldown on slam, more range. Hook range slightly down, actually. Slam has an inner area now that does more bonus damage and applies a strong slow for 1.5 seconds. So, you know, I mean, hook him in, hit him with a big, powerful slam. Pretty cool. Devour ability effects occur at the start of the ability's cast right at the end. Okay, cool. And new functionality on his trait. Basic attacks apply vile gas to nearby enemies, which does damage over time. Reapplying increases the duration rather than resetting it up to 10 seconds. Okay, so it just lasts really long. You can stack it up. That's cool. And we'll look at all his talents again when we get to that. But yeah, pretty neat. There's also toy bundle stuff. I don't believe these are on the test realm. No, not yet. But they did do a preview video. You can check those out. There's Cosmic Force Valera, like Superhero Valera. There's Dahakosaurus Rex for Dahaka. It's like a dinosaur skin. And there's a big cuddly Care Bear Stitches skin. They all look really cool. Cosmic Lion, cool. Plush Unicorn, boy oh boy. And yeah, some bug fixes. So yeah, there you go, guys. That is a real fast blow through of the patch there. So XP changes are in. Armor changes are in. Sylvanas and Stitches reworks, and some fairly decent changes. By decent, I mean substantial, noticeable changes to Phoenix as well. Let me know what you think. And yeah, we're going to hop back here to the PTR queue. We're currently at, what are we at with viewers? We're at almost 1,200 seconds. You do the maths, chat. You do the maths. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.